The difference between a good port day and a great port day is not just luck, it's planning.
Let's go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Kiki.
And I'm Ray.
And we're Team Reese.
Team
and we
Reese.
are here to share with you how we plan out the perfect port day for ourselves.
Ooh, let's go, baby.
Let's talk about it. So, the first thing we do when planning a port day, what is it, Ray?
First thing we have to do is we need to figure out what kind of day or port day do we want to have.
Yeah, because sometimes you want to relax and sometimes you want to have some fun. Sometimes you want to be adventurous.
You want to be spontaneous, or maybe you just want to have a food day, port day.
That's right. There are many different types of ways to enjoy your port day. What we like to do is mix it up a little. So if we're on a 7-day cruise, then we typically on a 7-day cruise, you might have 3 or 4 ports. We might pick one port that is going to be a relaxing day, and another port might be an adventurous day, and another one might be one where we just get out for freestyle. Just depends on what we want to do.
Depends on where we want to go.
So that's our first step, deciding what you want out of your port day. These cruises are expensive.
Yeah.
And you want to walk away from your vacation feeling like you got out of it what you wanted out of it.
Absolutely.
So once we pick what we want our port day to look like, what's our next step, right?
All right. The next thing you need to do is do your research.
YouTube, Google, all the different, talk to your travel agents, all the different ways of researching what's available at the port, what's the weather like at that port that time of year, how far are things from the actual cruise port where you get off the ship, how far am I going to have to travel to get into what I want to do,
what I should and should not wear,
what's the layout of the port, am I going to have to walk a bit, can I pretty easily catch a tram or a taxi?
Right. Yeah, so you need to do your research, deep research as much as possible. YouTube videos are going to be your best friend when you're doing research. If you combine that with just Google itself, you can do some major research and get some information you need, and ask maybe some family and friends who maybe traveled to those areas before.
And think about what your budget is for the day. Am I willing to spend a little bit more to pay for an experience that's kind of guided for me, put together, transportation planned out, all of those things taken care of for me? Or do I want to save a little bit and kind of do my own thing, find my own way to where I'm going? That's something to think about as well.
Yeah, those things will help you determine where you go and how you want to do things.
Yes, so once you decide what kind of port day you want to have, and then you do some research on what's there. For example, I might want to have an adventurous port day, so I'm going to look for some place that has zip lining and, or maybe, zip lining, parasailing, or I want a relaxing day, so I'm going to look for some kind of resort day pass or some kind of beach that I can just go lay down and relax on the beach and have a drink or have some good food. I might want a food day where I just decide I want to find a food tour and try a bunch of different local food. All of that stuff is available to you.
You can even host your own food tour, and then a lot of places have a lot of nice beaches, and they have food at the beach. Very good food at the beach. So just check those out, and do that with your research as well. One thing I do want to mention is determine if you want to walk or if you want to find transportation, because that's going to factor into your budget as well. Because if you're walking, of course walking is free, but if it's hot, if it's 95 degrees and you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be walking unless you just like walking in the heat. You don't want to be walking at 95 degrees. So determine the mode of transportation. If it's going to be your feet or it's going to be a vehicle. And the vehicle, a lot of times when you use a transportation vehicle, it's not really expensive like if you would have used it back at home. But still, just be mindful. And then also be mindful that a lot of transportation vehicles they have are open air transportation, where meaning there's no windows. It's just the breeze and you. And sometimes the breeze is cool, sometimes it's hot. So you just got to depend on what you want to do. And that's it. But just know how you want to get there.
And once I decide what I want to do and I decide what my transportation options are and how am I going to do it, am I going to take a taxi, am I going to book some type of transport, now it's time to build the timeline, because we want that day to look exactly like we want it to look. So now I need to know, what time am I getting there? What time does my ship arrive in port? How much time is it going to take me to get from where I want to go? Let's say I'm going to the beach. How long does it take the ride to the beach? Once I get there, how long is the ride back? How soon do I want to be back at the ship to feel comfortable that I'm not going to get left behind? Now I can plan out my day and know exactly how much time I'm going to spend at the beach or at the zip line or at the zoo or whatever it is that we decide to do, or it's walking the city, whatever it is we decide to do. I can build my timeline around what I want that entire day to look like.
Right.
Because Ray always gonna want to have some shopping time. We got to build that in.
Just me?
Yeah, just you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But make sure that, especially if you're doing this with a cruise, make sure you know the ship time, the time you're going to get off, the earliest time you can get off, and the time you need to be back on. And that way, that will help you build your timeline as well. Because again, you do not want to be a pier runner because you thought that, I got 15 minutes, when in reality you only had 5 minutes.
Yes.
So.
And make sure you set whatever device you have, whether it's a watch or a phone, set it to ship time so that you know what time it is on board the ship. Your phone a lot of times will auto change to whatever the local time is. There's a setting in your phone where you can go in and turn off that auto change so that your phone will stay on whatever time zone you set it to.
Right.
You're going to want to do that because you want to keep up with time based on what time it is on the ship.
Right. You don't want to miss that.
Now, we've got our day picked out. We know what we want to do. We know how long we want to do it. And we know where we want to do it at. What's next?
It is, drumroll please, packing for success.
You gotta have the things you need.
Woo!
Nothing makes for a bad port day like figuring out you wore the wrong kind of shoes on your port day. Baby, it's a long day walking around with your feet hurting.
It sure is. A long day. And don't be, oh my God. So it's one thing to have the wrong shoes on as an adult, but having the wrong shoes on your children or your kid, and they too big to be carrying. Oh God,
can't do it.
Woo. Let's move on.
Yeah, make sure you're packing. So, for example, Ray said, cute. If you have kids with you, pack a few snacks for your kids.
Yes.
So they have something to snack on. Pack some comfy shoes or wear some comfy shoes. I am a big fan of Tevas. They have never steered me wrong. They are the most comfortable shoes I have. I wear them around Disney. I wear them on cruises. I wear them on port days. I love those shoes.
How long did you wear them at Disney? How many miles did you track?
At Disney, I wore those the entire day. I think we rope dropped, which would have been very early in the morning, 9-ish maybe, and we stayed until the fireworks show. So very late, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I believe I got somewhere around 25,000 steps that day. My feet never hurt. They are great. And this is not sponsored. I'm just telling y'all, these are really good shoes for for a long day. Right. And RJ's feet never hurt either. I bought him some. So yeah, packing the things you need. Some of the things that we always pack. We always have a portable charger.
Yes.
A portable charger is needed. Do not just take one that you need to plug in because you do not know if you're going to have access to an outlet. Take a portable charger and make sure that it is charged. Make sure you have cash. Make sure you have whatever kind of documentation. We've started to carry our passports off with us now. We didn't always do that, but you at least do need to have some type of ID when you're walking around port. We already mentioned water, snacks. We always take our portable water bottles, our refillable water bottles, so that we have something cold to drink. We use the insulated type so that it stays cold. And just make sure you have something to charge everything
and
up.
Comfortable clothes.
Yes. Make sure you know what the weather is going to be like that day. Take a look at the weather that morning. Is it going to rain? Is it going to be cool? Is it going to be warm? Make sure you're dressing appropriately for the weather for that day, or that you have a raincoat or a umbrella if there's rain expected.
Absolutely.
After you make sure that you have everything packed that you need for your port day, the day of, set yourself up for success on the day of too. Make sure you get up prepare and have all your stuff ready to go that you packed up, have it ready to go. Talk about with whoever you're traveling with. You know, if you're gonna maybe separate at some point, make sure you got a meeting point decided and a meeting time. I like to get a good breakfast. The two best cruise options for breakfast that I've come across for a port day is one of the like quick stop places like the buffet, or somewhere where you can get something really quickly, or even room service breakfast like the continental breakfast where they'll just deliver it to you. You have to order that the day before, but it's sometimes nice to just wake up and already have breakfast there and don't have to worry about trying to fight with other people at the buffet. I definitely would not suggest a sit down breakfast on a port day because you are going to burn a lot of your time for your port day by doing that. Yeah. Also, that day of, be flexible. You don't know what's going to come up. You don't know what's going to happen. The weather could deter your entire plan for the day. Just keep an open mind. You're still on vacation. You're still going to have a good time. Don't be so married to what you've planned that if it goes awry, you just completely feel like your day is wasted and you've lost your time and you're upset. Port days get canceled all the time, y'all. Just read those cruise contracts. Port days do get canceled, and the only thing you're going to get back is port fees. So if your port day gets canceled, have kind of a second idea in mind of what you want to do in case you can't get to where you want to go, or in case your ship can't even pull into where you want to go. All right, guys, those are our tips for planning the perfect port day. Let us know. Do you have any tips that we didn't mention that you think should have been included? Drop those down below in the comments. We want to hear about it.
Let us know.
Let us know. And if you need help planning your cruise vacation, make sure you reach out to us. You can email us at booking@teamreesetravels.com, and we'll be able to get you started and get you going and help you plan out you or your family's vacation.
Yes. So thank you all so much. We appreciate it. We hope that these tips will help you plan the perfect port day on your next trip.
Yes. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And until the next time, Team Reese.
Team Reese.
All day.
All day.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.